Hey everyone, Kelly Donahue Piro here, oh gosh, videoing officially from the road. I'm in Chicago area, just launched a Hanzel agency on Apex retention this weekend, so really excited about that. Happy to see that things are coming back to normal. For today's topic, I want to talk about something that comes up a lot that just sort of bugs me, which is when people use the word apples to apples in insurance. And in my head, growing up in as a New England girl, fall's my favorite time of year. I just think about going and seeing all the different types of apples and how it's really not a great comparison. We did a video recently on deck pages and do you need deck pages or not, to quote, and people want to do an apples to apples comparison. Well, I can tell you by doing these renewal review calls that so many people don't have the right coverage, and we overdo it thinking, oh, hey, we have to have the same thing or we want to compare. It's nice to have, but not a necessity. So apples to apples means to me that, we're quoting the same exact thing, but let's just say you're quoting homeowners and that company has Service Line and this one, the most competitive, doesn't. You have to have that conversation with clients. So when we think apples to apples, I want you guys to think about, first of all, what do we need to quote? Go back to my deck page video if you want to, but we don't need that deck page because a lot of times it's wrong. What we instead need to do is do our job, which is to look at that account and say, person's life's changed. This is what I'm recommending to you and why. Not you had this, you had this. That's kind of saying that it's all about price. But really, our value needs to kind of come through and stick out. So I really recommend you think about apples to apples is garbage. I instead want you guys to do what's right for that customer, get to know them, spend the time underwriting the questions, ask them, update them. If we're doing our job underwriting up the front end, that old quote doesn't really matter. So there would be no apples to apples because it's just your agency, which is the right way to do it versus wherever they are currently. Now you can say, hey, there's coverage differences, but I would just not even lean on that. If they want to send in their current policy, then you could do it as part of a sales process if you couldn't close a sale, but let's not lead into it. Apples to apples or your agency's way of doing it because it's the right way. You get to decide. And plus, remember, there's a big difference between a Granny Smith apple and a Golden Delicious. So we have to kind of focus on how do we make that work. Hope you enjoyed our tip for today, and we will see you soon.